Good to see you this Thursday afternoon. I'm here to keep you updated on WFMY Plus for upcoming more scattered showers and storm chances that are going to be rising these next couple of hours, some of which could be strong to severe. The latest timing is going to be from around 4 p.m. all the way through around 10 p.m. That's going to be kind of the best time frame we have and best time frame for those storms that are going to be coming through to become strong or severe. The big threats that we're going to be watching within these storms are going to be damaging hail. I'm talking upward of around 2 inches in diameter, similar to some of the hail storms we've had just recently across the area, and also damaging winds. What I need you to do, go ahead and grab the rain gear and keep the WFMY app handy and ready to go. We're of course also keeping an eye on the radar. I want to kind of bring in my computer to kind of track these storms with you across the region. We're not really seeing much, at least for right now, in the triad, but there's a lot going on elsewhere. So let's kind of zoom in on our area again. Maybe a couple of sprinkles here and there, but for the most part, nice and dry. At least that's for right now. And this is at 3 o'clock. We're not really expecting things to pick up until the next hour or two across the region, but elsewhere in other states, like just to our south here in South Carolina, right near Charleston, and also along the coast here in Savannah, Georgia, also seeing some pop-up storms. Really the biggest threat with these storms is just going to be the heavy rainfall, of course the damaging winds, and even large hail for a lot of the southeast heading into the next couple of hours. They're also going to pop up and also fizzle out fairly quickly. So we could have a storm that develops and, you know, becomes strong or severe within an hour or so, and they're just very quickly forming across the region. Zooming in also in portions of Tennessee, you know, I saw something I haven't really seen in a while that I did want to show you. There are a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings just west of Nashville in Tennessee where you can see, you know, these dark pockets of reflectivity that kind of have like the reds and the pinks, indicating that there is some hail in these strong or severe thunderstorms starting to push east into the area. There was one I saw earlier that actually had a threat that said that it was destructive, and you really only get that type of threat and a tag for a severe thunderstorm whenever you're seeing a lot of destruction with hail coming down. And I looked at the hail from the radar and it was actually upward to around 3 inches, and that just goes to show you that some of this hail is going to be very, very large across our area, and we could even see a piece of that heading into this afternoon and this evening. So that is why we continue to keep you updated on this alert, and we'll continue to keep you updated on what to expect here in the triad. I did want to look at some active alerts here. I know they're going to put out a severe thunderstorm watch possibly shortly, so we'll keep eyes for that. But for right now, this is what we're looking at across the area. Again, we're still in that slight risk, that level 2 out of 5. It's actually just in the last couple of hours been expanded a little bit more eastward towards central North Carolina. The difference here between the yellow and the green is a little bit more isolated in nature. That doesn't mean there's going to be less of them per se, but we are going to be seeing more scattered showers and possible severe thunderstorms within that secondary level out of 5. What you can expect to see, again, these are going to be the main threats that we're watching throughout this afternoon and into this evening. Going to be the damaging winds. Strong storms could see mixing all the way down to the surface of around 40 miles per hour, but in severe storms, you could see 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So I want to urge you to go ahead and secure those outdoor loose items ahead of time. That means right now, within the next couple of hours before these storms arrive to your neighborhood. Large hail, you know, I told you upward to around 2 inches in diameter, almost saw a 3-inch diameter hail just in western parts of Tennessee. And that's the same system that's slowly making its way here these next couple of hours. Also could see some pockets of heavy rain, which could pose an issue with traveling. So it could cause a little bit of ponding alongside the roads, which of course makes it easy to hydroplane. I did want to show you this. The Storm Prediction Center did add a tornado risk, very low across portions of southern Piedmont and western portions of the Piedmont. I'm not as concerned about the tornado risk for our area specifically. I really think as of right now, it really is the primary threat more so being those the hail and also the damaging winds across the area. I wouldn't worry so much about the tornado threat or even the flash flooding threat. That's also very low across the region, but still be weary of it, especially if you're going to be out and about on the roads throughout this afternoon, and especially by the time we're into late this evening. Again, the alert runs from 4 o'clock all the way until 10 o'clock into the night tonight, but we still could see some scattered showers outside of that window bleeding into the overnight hours and tomorrow morning. A look at the severe storm risk for tomorrow. This becomes more isolated, and you'll notice it's much more extended toward the east, and that's due to that front actually sweeping in across the area, moving through the area tomorrow. So we could see a couple of isolated pockets of heavy, stronger, severe storms across the region, but it's mainly going to be concentrated to our east, and the severe threat is going to be lower. So just to kind of recap everything that I've told you, especially if you're just now tuning in with us on WFMY Plus, thanks for doing so. The biggest things that we're going to be keeping an eye on, the main threats, are going to be damaging winds and also damaging hail across the region. If you think back with those storms that we had just in the last couple of months, like that one just back in March where we had the diameter of hail up to around 2 inches, we could see that again into the night tonight. Winds could get really gusty at times. I'm really not as concerned about the tornado or the flooding threat. They're still on the board, but their chances are much lower compared to the hail and the wind that we could be seeing with these storms heading into this afternoon. Now, this is the hail that I showed you, I was talking about just a couple seconds ago in March. This was sent in by Tina Gray. This was in Greensboro, and this one was about a little over 2 inches in diameter. This is the type of hail that we could see in these storms heading into this afternoon and into the evening. This was also the same storm in March. Hail in Archdale. Our very own Amber Lake sent this in too. Just look at the amount of hail coming down. This is just, kind of an example of what we could be seeing heading into this afternoon and evening due to the environment for these hailstones to be able to grow. And to kind of give you an idea of what these look like, 3, 4, 7 inches upward to around a penny or so. Imagine that like laying in the palm of your hand. A nickel, that's around 1 inch in diameter. Ping pong ball, we're getting to around 1.5 inches, upward to around 2 inches, coming to a golf ball. 2.5 is the tennis ball. So we could be anywhere in this range for some of these strong to severe storms heading into the atmosphere. And I can kind of tell you why. Again, it is a pretty rare phenomenon, but why does this large hail kind of form, and how does it form in the area? Well, it's a great question. We do have this freezing level that kind of can help me explain here. So, and one of the things that you have to have in a thunderstorm is a very strong updraft to be able to have this hail form to be so large. And with this freezing level, you have a lot of moisture in these clouds and in these updrafts, and you have that frozen air up here. When it goes down and it collects these super cool droplets and it starts getting flown back up in the updraft, it is able to refreeze another layer of droplets along the hail. And as it gets, again, too much for gravity, again, it'll eventually fall, but it can go through that cycle of collecting super cool droplets several times, and that's how it's able to grow to be so big, and why we're going to have to be especially careful into this afternoon and evening. It's going to be prime conditions for large hail to be forming and damaging wind gusts too across the area in some of these storms. Burlington camera not working right now. That's okay. Look outside your window. It is a beautiful day. It has been beautiful throughout the day today. Plenty of sunshine, but that's going to change for some of us into the next couple of hours as these storms start to broil up. We're in the lower 80s also in High Point. Plenty of sunshine, just a couple of clouds, and even the little birdie friend just joined us. We're in the lower 80s. Dew points also in the 60s. Those have gone up a little bit just these last couple of hours. They were in the 50s, now we're in the 60s, getting a little bit more of a sticky, humid feel out, which can also fuel thunderstorms. Temperatures right now upper 70s and lower 80s, 82 in High Point, 81 in Lexington and Winston-Salem, 77 in Asheboro. Another thing that you should know is when we start to see these storms roll through, we could be in the 80s, but we'll drop just like that. The temperatures will cool off very, very quickly across the area as we start to see more and more downpours move in across the region. So here are those dew points, mainly 50s and also into the 60s. This is that low pressure system that we've been tracking, right? This is going to continue to kind of help push in that moisture across the area with that cold front likely bringing in some scattered showers and even some thunderstorms by the time we're into this afternoon and into the evening. You'll notice the front itself actually isn't going to be moving through the area until earlier on into tomorrow afternoon. And that's when we could see kind of a reignition of some of those isolated showers and storms right ahead of the actual front for tomorrow afternoon, and I'll show you that here in just one moment. So look at the Futurecast again, 5 or 6 o'clock, starting to see some pockets of heavy rainfall. Again, that higher reflectivity you see right here, heavy downpours, maybe even some hail across the area. Again, very low chances for any sort of rotation. It really is going to be that hail and that damaging wind that we're primarily focusing on, but I do want you to have a way to receive these severe weather alerts heading into the next couple of hours. By around 7 or 8 o'clock, a second round kind of moving through, but around midnight or so, our atmosphere is going to kind of stabilize, which is going to help these, not help these storms grow, but also kind of inhibit that growth, I should say, throughout the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. Here's that front itself pushing into the area early on into Friday afternoon. That's when we could see another line of showers and storms move through the area, but it is going to be less severe and it's going to be more concentrated toward our east. Now, heading into the day Saturday, starting to clear out across the area before we could see an isolated shower or two by the time we're into Mother's Day afternoon and evening. Futurecast, another kind of more zoomed in view of what to expect here in the next few hours. Again, pockets of heavy rainfall, some of them including a little bit of large hail and even some damaging wind gusts across the area. By no means is everyone going to get a shower. You know, it's just the nature of these springtime storms. Some of us getting a lot in a short amount of time in terms of rainfall, and others not seeing much at all. So that's just the nature of the game here as we continue to track these scattered showers across the area all the way through around 10 o'clock. After that, the severe threat tends to kind of die down. You know, this is, as the atmosphere kind of stabilizes early into tomorrow morning. Still could be seeing some scattered showers very early on into the morning by around 5 to 8 o'clock. But then we're starting to clear out a little bit for the afternoon ahead of another line possibly forming with the actual cold front sweeping in into the afternoon and evening, as you just saw in the Futurecast for the afternoon. Rain potential the next 3 days. You know, despite seeing scattered showers across the area, I'm only expecting us to see around 1/4 of an inch up to around 1/2 inch. And some of those locally heavier downpours, though, we could see upward to around 3/4 of an inch and even rain potential up to around 1 inch or so if, you know, some of those pockets of rainfall kind of redevelop along the same places as before. But really, you know, I'm not really expecting us to bring us that much. Heading into next week, though, I am expecting that to change with more widespread moisture kind of sitting over the area both Monday, Tuesday, and possibly even into Wednesday. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. Drought report, these get released every Thursday, and there really hasn't been much of a benefit, at least from what I've seen, much of an improvement, I should say, since last week. Moderately dry conditions across the area, a level 2 out of 5, still across the triad and taking up 53% of North Carolina. So in short, you know, the rain that we got last week helped, but it didn't help us enough. We still need more rainfall, and we're hoping to receive more of that these next couple of days. So throughout the day today, you know, beautiful start to the day. We've started to warm up. We're in the upper 70s and lower 80s with scattered showers and storms likely coming in the next couple of hours. I expect the bulk of those storms by around 6 or 7 o'clock, all the way through around 10 o'clock before that severe threat slowly starts to die down into early tomorrow morning. And of course, we'll continue to watch that for you. Weekend forecast, we are starting to dry out. Partly cloudy heading into the day on Saturday. Plenty of sunshine. Maybe you're taking mom out for Mother's Day. It's a nice day to do it. Maybe just brunch. Have the umbrella in the back seat though, especially if you live in southernmost counties like they're in Davidson, Randolph, or possibly in Montgomery, because you could see an isolated shower, but most of us are still going to be remaining dry. We're going to be in the lower 70s heading into Sunday afternoon. Longer range forecast, you know, I hinted at this just a little bit earlier, that widespread moisture that's going to be moving in by the time we're into early next week. Look how widespread it becomes across the area by Monday afternoon into Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday. We really are expecting to see several inches, couple of inches, I should say, 2 to 4 by the time we're into the middle of next week. And that just kind of shows it here on the radar and rain potential over the next 7 days, showing between around 3 inches in some places upward of 4 in some other places here to our south. So there's going to be plenty of opportunity for some much needed rainfall heading into early next week. So you may not be getting a lot of rain with this system as it tracks through the area tonight and tomorrow, but more opportunities are going to be on the way heading into next week. Here's a full recap of what you can expect. Again, that alert is going to run from 4 o'clock all the way through 10 o'clock into tonight. And I'm going to take this fully so you can get a full look at your 7-day forecast. Again, isolated shower or 2 possible for tomorrow afternoon. I'm not expecting much of a severe threat with those before we start to dry out over the weekend. Mother's Day weekend could feature an isolated shower late on Sunday with more widespread rain chances coming early next week.